We continue the journey. Today I am sharing you my life. I would like to show you a city that changed my world 40 years ago. There is a big world, but within it, each person has his own world, with which he either influences the outside world or allows the outside world to influence his own world. We get to know Vladimir today, which is in Russia, 182 kilometers east of Moscow on the Golden Ring. Vladimir is one of the country's oldest and most beautiful cities, full of onion dome gilded churches. In the Middle Ages, it was the capital of the Vladimir Suzdal Principality. I spent the most beautiful and memorable semester of my life there, where I had an experience that defines my life to this day. I'm a Russian English teacher. We went for part-time training from Eger Teacher Training College to Vladimir to study the language at the university there. It was socialism, great poverty. When fresh bread arrived, people stood in long lines. We took canned food there from home. In the dormitory, we fought cockroaches every day, which simply could not be destroyed. And yet, I was much happier there than at home. I got only love. Our teachers loved us very much, especially me. We regularly performed with the choir in the theater and other places. The Russian students were also extremely kind to us, often invited us to tea, for specialty flavored with jam. One evening I went out for a walk in the town, alone. I really like walking and especially getting to know foreign cities. It got dark. I passed one of the churches from which wonderful singing was heard. I went in. The iconostasis of the church shone. The air was completely filled with the smell of incense. People stood in front of the iconostasis and sang. There weren't many of them. I stood at the back and enjoyed the atmosphere. Once I fell into ecstasies. When I came to, the church was empty. I didn't fall. I don't remember people going out, nor how long I stood there. What have I been through? Nothing and everything. Nothing happened. I just felt a great feeling of happiness. I would say happiness, peace, and love. It was so infinite that it cannot be described in words and cannot be experienced in the material. There is nothing else in the world but these three. The rest are all feature films, selfish, petty actions of small people. If the people in power knew how small they are, how insignificant they are before the mighty God, they would certainly not think of harming others. A few months later, it was repeated. Before traveling home, we received a week's holiday as a gift from the university abroad. They took us to Yerevan, and one day in that week, we went on a trip to Ararat by a coach. There was a beautiful church on the mountain. The tour guide said that Noah arrived there, and it was built in memory of that. It didn't mean much to me at that time because I didn't receive a religious education, I didn't go to religious studies, and at that time they didn't teach the Bible at school. We went into the church, which was renovated and was full of scaffolds. There were extremely powerful lights illuminating the images. The others went forward and I stopped and looked into one of the lights. I had an ecstasy again. When I became conscious, the church was empty. Everyone went out because they were grilling shashlik in the garden. There was only one priest or monk selling postcards. I went up to him and he gave me a postcard of the church as a gift. What do I want to tell you with this? God appears in contradictions in matter. The deification of man began with the incarnation of the mighty God. The Eucharist was established in the hour of betrayal. Man owes his resurrection to Christ's death on the cross. And I received the experience of God that defined my life and set me on a new path in an age and country that forbade religion.